Hello and welcome to The Greater Picture. My name is Yvonne, a channel where I talk about my life, my faith, and everything in between. Today I wanted to talk about loss, about grief. You know, it's something that we've all experienced. We've all experienced loss in some form, especially during these times. I think during the last few years, it's something that we can all relate to. Maybe you've lost a loved one, a job, or work looks differently for you now. There's been school changes, and the list can go on and on. We're constantly inundated with news of devastation and change, and it really rocks our world, especially mentally and spiritually. And you know, the day-to-day still has to happen. We still have to get the groceries. We still have to get the kids and go to work and maintain relationships and juggle all these things and still carry around all this baggage and still walk around and take in the daily news and the daily stresses. And you know, that's hard. That's very hard for the human body to contain. It's very hard for us as individuals to carry. And you know, the thing is that God doesn't want us to carry that. We're not designed to hold that and to not let that out and to just try to figure it out ourselves. That's not the way that God made us, and that's not the way He wants us to handle life. So, you know, like I said, our day-to-day has changed. It's important for us to talk about it to others, to acknowledge that we do have this going on, that we're carrying this. You know, God wants us to talk to Him, to let it out. I know a lot of people say, hey, you know, but God knows everything. He should know what I'm thinking. He should know what's in my heart. Why do I have to have this big prayer session with Him and tell Him the things that He already knows? And listen, like, I get that. We're busy, and sometimes we don't even have time to do that. But you don't necessarily have to have this carved out prayer time, although that's great. But just talk to Him. You know, you're in the car, talk with Him. You know, you're taking a shower, talk with Him. You know, I'm cooking dinner, talk with Him. It doesn't have to be this super formal thing that I think that we've, you know, kind of designed. He's our friend, He's our Father, He's all these things, and He wants to know what's in our heart. He wants that relationship with us. So talking it out with Him, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly about how we feel is so important. And it's important to Him. Just like any other relationship that you maintain with, let's say, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, you know, you would talk to them. You would tell them the things that are going on in your head, the things that you're holding in your heart. God wants to know those things. He wants in so He could help. I want to read a verse out of Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Going back to the topic of loss, you know, I experienced loss I think I was like a sophomore, junior in high school, and we lost my uncle very suddenly. He was sick. He did have health issues, but it was something very unexpected for our family. And so it just completely wrecked all of us. He was very young, a newlywed, had his whole life ahead of him, and he was very much like an older brother to me. I'm the oldest of 3, so I didn't have an older sibling, and he was like an older brother to me. And so I remember, after the funeral and after all the feelings and the things settle in, all the people leave, people aren't coming by your door anymore and leaving food and praying for you and all that good stuff. And we're kind of left with the reality of things and a new normal. And I remember getting in the car with my family, and we were driving somewhere, I don't know, and just looking around the world, and everything was going on as it normally does. The mail was getting delivered, people were dropping their kids off at school, people going inside the grocery store. It was just a normal day, and I remember feeling so angry and thinking, don't these people know what we're going through? Don't these people know that such a special person is gone? Don't these people realize, how can the world just go on like nothing happened? But it does. The world continues to spin. People, the world goes on, and that was hard to process, and that's part of the grieving process. And I think I've heard so many people talk about, since the pandemic, life changes, kids changing, family dynamics changing, loss of loved ones occurring, and everything is so different, and it can be devastating. And I think that we have to have a support. We have to have a support system. We have to talk to each other. Community is so important. It's so important to Jesus. Whether that be your spouse, a friend, a family member, whatever that looks like for you, that you have someone or people to go to and express those thoughts. Obviously, talking to Jesus, going back to my faith, that's always going to be the rock for me. But community, I cannot stress how important it is. And I'm a reserved person. I understand you may not want to discuss every detail with everybody, and that's fine. But it is so important to do so. So I want to end it with a verse in Matthew chapter 5, verse 4. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. It's okay to not be okay, but talk to Jesus. Talk to someone. Allow yourself to process the feelings and the thoughts that you have, because it's okay. It's okay too. And just remember the importance of seeing the greater picture. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye guys.